Jesus. Oh, praise the King, the Most High Yah. I don't even know where I want to start. Because there's like so many things. I, I don't know where to start. Like, bro, what I'm really convinced, what I'm convinced of is there was just a shooting in like Stockton or something like that, somewhere in California. There was a shooting, and I guess it was like a bunch of people that got hit. It was like some kids. I think it was like 3 kids or something. Like passed, like busted babies. But when you take into account again these things, where are these things coming from? Where are they coming from? Because it's not coming from just unrest and things like that. And when you think about how much, that's the thing is, when I was in the world, right, I didn't think about anything. I didn't think about nothing that was outside of the world. Like, it was just like what I could see. That is it. There was nothing else. There was nothing else besides that. But when you think of how much God talked about the spirit, like the spiritual realm, everything is done in the spiritual realm. Like, and that's the thing is we don't even have comprehension of how much is going on right now. Like, that's the like the most terrifying part is we don't understand it. I mean, we do. We have like an idea, but to really see what is going on would be crazy. I don't think our brains would be able to comprehend it because everything is like pretty much done in the spirit. Like, yeah, when I was in the world, I couldn't see anything outside of people like being buttholes or you know like people being rude and people being heathens and you know other people that just didn't believe in God. You know, like a lot of self worth, and like people being their own gods and things like that. Like essentially, that's what we were. Like before we knew who God was, we pretty much acted like we were our own gods. Like we controlled our own lives. And no, that is not the case, bro. Like when you're operating like that, it's not. When you're operating like that, that means you're being controlled by something, and it's not God. That means you're giving into the flesh, which opens the door for all kinds of demonic everything. Um, and yeah, man, I just don't know what's going on with America. I feel like I was listening to I forgot the guy's name, but he's a black dude. And he does like videos on like everything, and he's a believer. So he pretty much just be like checking. It's not Marcus Rogers. It's what is his name? I can't remember his name, but I feel like that America is trying to start a holy war, which it isn't cool. It's not. It's not cool because see what's gonna happen, and this is like I watched a video on this. They have these dudes that were saying that they were Christian and they want to go back to the Christian values of America, where I think it was like out in Michigan where they were like protesting, and one of the Christian dudes tried to burn a Quran, and then one of the Muslim dudes was like, you know, I'll smack you over that, like, but I'll smack you, and he was like, I'll spend the rest of my life in jail. You kind of you can do that. Is it a good idea? No. What we're supposed to do is talk to these people and bring them home to Jesus. That's what we're supposed to do. But that's all we're supposed to do. That's it. We're not supposed to do nothing else. Because when when you have a person that has a belief, that's what they believe. It's like when they be over there doing whatever they're doing, they really believe in the Quran. They really believe in that. So you're talking about you're gonna burn the Quran, bro, and then you're a Christian. That's why I don't like going by the name Christian. That's why I don't like going by it because it carries so much. It carries so much other stuff. Like you talking about America's founded on white Christians. Granted, yeah, it is, but it's not just white, and it's a lot more than that, bro. Like it can't just be the white race. That doesn't make sense because America is not just white, especially now. Like Biden really did that. Like he really just opened the door. Like Biden just let the gate just all the way open, and you know, I'm having a hard time like really grasping how they're going to get rid of all these people. And there's no way they can get rid of them because there's so many. Like I can't remember what the number was, like 12 million, like something like 12 million or something. Because I remember watching one video, and it was I think it was 30. I think it was 30 guys in full military gear, like vests, all that, running over the Mexico border, and they said those were Chinese military. So, and then America sold so much land to China, like I think it's like 100,000 acres. This is spread out through the whole United States. So if China has land like this, and they're everywhere, they can come over here, just sneak over here, and go to whatever one of those locations because they have to have a bunker or something. Like they act like that's not a thing, bro. Like like real talk. Like people act like China's not over here doing whatever they're doing. If you got 100,000 acres all over the United States, like that's another thing. There was like some years back. I want to say like 3 years back, and I want to say California. In California, they had a lab that had rats in it, and these it was just a warehouse, and they had rats in it, like thousands of rats. that had AIDS, that had COVID. Like one rat would have like AIDS, COVID, herpes, like would be injected with all these things, right? And somebody discovered it, and that's how it was found out. That got through under the rug. Like I don't know how it did, but yes, it got through under the rug. And I was living in Portland when I found that out, and I lived in downtown Portland in Chinatown. And whenever I looked out my window, I could see a rat, no matter what. If I looked out my window, I could see a rat. After that place got busted in California, I slowly stopped seeing rats. Like legit. And I talked to the homeless people about it too. Like yeah, on my channel, I got a whole bunch of homeless people and stuff on it. Not talking to them, but just like their daily activities. But I talked to a lot of people down there, and they're like, besides the people going missing, I'll get into that next. But the rats, they were like, we don't know where the rats are. Like, not that they pay attention to the rats, but the rats were everywhere, and now there's like no rats. I know people aren't out here catching the rats. Like they're not, because you would see the rats going in people's tents, but they're like gone now. So I feel like there's probably one of those in Portland, if not more than one. But uh, yeah, and I was talking to this one homeless guy. So he was a dude that's been there for shit like 20 years, like homeless downtown for like 20 years. He's I forgot his name, but he's 40. He's like I think he's like 40, and he has a like a one of them Joker lines on his face and other tattoos. And for like in the summer, we would get bus loads of people, and then they would just vanish. Like they would come into town and they'd be homeless out there for a little bit, but then they would slowly just disappear. And they're not moving to they're not moving to other places like in the city because the rest of the city it looks pretty much the same. Not the same as Portland is poop. It's horrible. But the homeless people that are out in those places are the same homeless people. Like I got I had an old friend, and she's just like living on the bike trail on 92nd, and she's been there for shit, probably like 6 years now, maybe 7 years. Nah, it's like 7, 8 years now, and it's crazy because it's like the the people are they're the same people, and so these people aren't going anywhere. They're they're not going into the city. I believe there's like a huge like organ harvesting ring or something because all these people are coming from like the East Coast and like random places, and they just get shipped here. Uh, there's no reason. They don't have family here. They don't have anything here. So what are y'all doing? Why are you just shipping these people to the other side of the country for them just to be homeless? That doesn't make sense. And then when I go back and I be thinking about like my brother. So my brother, I miss him. He's been dead for some years now, but he was a handful. So my brother he had dialysis and his kidneys didn't work. Like his kidneys didn't work since we were kids. We just didn't know it until he like broke something, and then they ran tests on him. But they found him in a warehouse, like pretty much OD'd. They found him in a warehouse, and then when they got him to the hospital, they were able to like bring him back to life. But when he got back to like my parents' house, I asked him like, "Bro, how did you end up in a warehouse?" and he does not know how we ended up in this warehouse. And I mean, that baffles me because, like, bro, you was that high that you didn't know where, like, that you ended up in the warehouse, like an abandoned warehouse. Like, bro, you don't remember where it was. You, like, I don't even know how you got found. Like, real talk. I can't even ask him about it no more because he's gone. You know, like, this is something I've really been battling with is overdosing. Does overdosing count as suicide? And I'm really kind of convinced that it is because when we're doing drugs, right? Because I was a drug addict. When when we're doing drugs, we're not thinking about other things. We're thinking about being high, numbing, forgetting, all these other things. And no part of that do you ask God to take it away. Now, people can say that they ask God to take it away, but your faith without works is dead. So you can pray for it, but if you don't fight to not do it or to change, it's not going to work because you can't just be like, God, I want whatever. I want $1 million. That's, you don't ask God for money, but that's just a random example, and not try to get the $1 million. You have to work. You got to do something. Whatever you pray for, you have to work towards that goal. And you really don't have to work that hard. Like, if you pray for something, it's baby steps. The entire way is baby steps. Like, legit, I didn't have to do anything. Like, getting off drugs, I didn't have to do anything. Now, eventually, getting off the Suboxone kicked my butt. But everything else besides that, like asking for a wife and bless me with a wife, I I didn't do anything. Like, I wasn't going out or nothing. Like, I was reading my Bible and going to work and being home. And I worked in my apartment building, so it wasn't like I didn't have to go look for my wife. And, you know, like, he blessed me with her. And it's like, as long as you're doing the things, like, he helps you through the whole thing. And, like, I was thinking about that a few days ago, how, and I always just kind of go back and just be thinking about the things that he's like blessed me with, and like just his moving mountains with just like a mustard seed. I tell you, like a mustard seed, like it's nothing. But I was planning on saving up. Well, I was saving up, and I had X amount saved up, and then got to a point where I was like, well, yeah, this is a pretty decent amount. And then, my daughter in that situation started happening. So I had money for an attorney. And I wouldn't have had money for an attorney unless that had been that would have been a thought. Like, yeah, it's the small things. And it's like, the hard part is to quiet your mind and to hear God, because and then you got to know like the difference between God and yourself and the enemy, because I don't know what people be like. You got to really discern the difference. Like, you know what, Muslim people, they don't hear anything. Like, it confuses me. Cause I was talking to a Muslim dude on here, like just in the chat, like going back and forth, and I was talking about God, and he was talking about the Quran, and they don't believe that Jesus is God. They believe that he's a prophet. And he never died. And I was asking about like when he prays, like when you pray, do you hear anything from God? Like do you get like a feeling or anything? And he was like, no. And I was like, what? I was like, so you don't hear God or nothing? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of weird considering we have a living God, and like I don't know, just the end of like the just the Quran is very odd to me. Eventually, at some point, I'll probably read it just to kind of try to get an understanding. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sound right. And then oh, whoops, I think they call Jesus Esau. Like they call him a weird name. I'm pretty sure it's Esau, which Esau does not have the inheritance. Like he doesn't come from you know Jacob. He doesn't come from he doesn't come from the lineage. He doesn't. So that doesn't make sense. Um, yeah, I don't know. And then I was talking to him about like hearing God, and like it's weird because they get so gassed up and like kind of angry. Like, because I say that I hear God, but it's not like I hear Him all the time. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say that, but the times that I do hear Him is there's three different voices, and I don't know if that's some people aren't like that, where they can't hear themselves talk in their head, like like counting, like how you can like count in your head. Some people can't do that, but I think that's weird. So there's my voice in my head that sounds like me, and there's the the devil or the enemy or whatever is trying to convince you to do or just not be right, I guess, or like is more destructive. And that's how you know it's the enemy or something of the sort. It's because it's always destructive. It's nothing that's life. It's always destructive, and it sounds more aggressive. Um, and I mean, God's voice is very quiet. They talk about that in the Bible. Like, sorry, my back's itching. But they talk about how like his voice is very like low, like it's very quiet. And I mean, the times that I hear him, that's how it be. It's my voice, but it's a voice that I can't imitate. There's no way I could ever imitate that voice. Like never. That's like if I never smoked, if I've never been choked, if I never inhaled this toxic air that we have and was like beyond the happiest person or like the most loving person. But even then, it wouldn't sound like that. I don't know how. I don't. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how he sounds like that. But I tell you, it's peace, and you know it's him. You know it's him. And I mean, like I said, it's not like I hear him like all the time. There was a point in my life where I was hearing him like daily, but my walk was a lot different. Um, yeah, I mean, I wasn't really doing anything. I was just kind of just in the Word. I mean, I was just in the Word and praying. I mean, it wasn't really much of a life, but I was content, and it showed me a lot. Like it really did. It showed me a lot because what we live in right now, this is this is really nothing like compared to like what is next. Like there's so much that's next. Like and we think that this life is something. That's why people want to believe in reincarnation and all these other things. But nah, it's no. Bro, reincarnation ain't a thing. And then it's like the Buddhists and Buddhism and all that stuff. That's you know, I understand like wanting to reincarnate, but say say you get reincarnated, right? And you're like a bird or you get reincarnated into like a something some kind of animal, right? Or you're just like a deer and you're I don't know, like one or two. Like you just, you're just getting out of your spots. And then you get hit by a car. Do you get reincarnated again? You just continue to get reincarnated. I never understood that. I don't see why people want to get reincarnated into this flesh. I don't want to do that. I I do not want to come back. Take me to the king. I am not. I do not want to come back. I do not want to do this no more. I mean, tomorrow, yes. The next day, yes. I want to live to be like 97. Yep. Yeah. I don't want to be reincarnated into another human. That sounds crazy to me. Take me to the king, and that's it. I want to be 97 on my acres and you know, just go out and fight a bear or something. You know, that's how I want to go out. Not really, but I mean, that'd be a way to go. Old man with a big old shotgun and some overalls. I wouldn't mind that. You know what I'm saying? Granddad killed a bear and had a heart attack. That sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. That's a story, man. How did your grandpa die? Well, my grandpa was 97, went out in the backyard and seen a bear. Bear charged him, he shot it, and then he had a heart attack. That's man, that's a way to go. That is a way to go. I take it. Nah, that helped me. That helped the bear because I don't need it. Um, man, bro. And then this is I can't even talk. So I'll be looking. It's, it really is something different because I don't really know my dad like that, and I don't know like his lineage. I can only go off my mom's, but because I already come from a broken house, that right. So my daughter comes from a broken house. Me and my mom and dad weren't married, or biological. They weren't married. Me and my baby mom weren't married. Yeah, me and my wife. We have a kid. That's gonna be something different. My daughter, she's something different too, though, because she comes from me, and I never left. No, I don't believe in leaving kids. No kid left behind. Whatever that crap is. For your little African kid, whatever that song is. But man, people just don't be taking care of their kids, man. It's wild, boy. I tell you, I couldn't have any more kids. Like, I legit couldn't have any more kids. Like, I had one. Now I got three, but that's fine. But I actually had one, and I don't see how dudes be out here. Well, no, I don't see people, men and women. I don't see how people continue to have these kids. And then let's talk about shishmortion. If you aren't okay with having kids, stop messing around. Use protection. Get birth control. Get married. Like, what happened to marriage? Like, why don't people believe in marriage anymore? That, that baffles me. But I don't think people, and that's the thing, is people don't know what marriage is. They don't know that that's a covenant with God. Like, God wants that. And I don't think people look at marriage as that other person completing you, like being evenly yoked. Like, and then that's another thing. Nobody's gonna be perfect. Like, the person that you marry is not gonna be perfect. There's things that you guys are gonna have to work out. It's gonna take time, and all those other things. That's just what it is. And granted, shit. I mean, I ain't been married that long, but I'm already having these discussions. You know what I'm saying? Like, that we need to learn each other more, which I mean isn't bad. Because that's kind of what it is. That's what it needs to be. But I mean, it's a marathon for the most part, you know. And I don't know. People want to marry people because they look nice and all that. You can't marry somebody because they look good. What does that work, bro? You're marrying somebody because they look good. They're not gonna look good forever. I think people forget that. Now, my wife, she gonna look good forever. I don't know about y'all. Mine, hey, the Lord did me right. And she a believer. And she can cook, and she like to hike. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I do not understand. I, man, when I tell you that it doesn't make sense, asking you shall receive. Like, real okay, real business. That's what you have to do. Is really, what is it? You seek the Lord and all of His righteousness. Everything will be given unto you. And I mean, I think I'd be kind of tripping on it because there's times where I'd be on fire and there's times where I don't. But it's like a constant. I don't know. It's just like a constant fight. I don't know what it is. I think what I need to do is fast. I need to fast some more because I might have to do a long fast. I think I might have to do like a 3 or 4 day. Yeah, I think I might need to because, and I noticed too, getting off Suboxone is like, since then, it's like, I don't know. It's almost like I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Things are a lot different. Like when it comes to a lot of things. And I don't like it. It almost seems like nope, I'm not gonna say that. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Rebuke them thoughts. You gotta cast down thoughts too. Like that's a big thing that I don't think a lot of people be doing is casting down thoughts that don't um that don't go along with the plans that God has for us. Because again, it goes back to like the spirit realm. The things that you say, and that's life and death is in the tongue. So you really need to watch what you say. I've been trying to tell my wife this. You really need to watch what you say because when you do say these things, it does leave an impression. It leaves a fingerprint on whatever that is. So whatever that saying is or whatever that thought is, if you continue to have those thoughts or say those things, just imagine like you have ink on one of your fingers, and then every time you say whatever it is, you just dot it like on a wall or something. That wall would be full of dots because you're saying the same thing, and because you're making an agreement. That's what you're doing. That's why it's kind of best you don't say anything because that's my thing is I don't do that much talking. I mean I talk with like my family and stuff, but when it comes to like other things, I don't be doing a lot of talking like random people. I talk to people about God and stuff, but I mean besides that, nah. And I mean talking to people about God, that's that's never bad. And I mean I never really had a bad experience, you know. Like I mean, I've had a couple like people like get get agitated, but then at the end of the day, like they haven't been violent or nothing. They'll be like they had one dude. One dude was kind of weird. He was saying he was God. He was saying he was God, and he was smoking meth. And I was like, bro, you quit doing that. Quit doing that. And he was saying smoking meth makes him go to like another plane and all this other weird stuff. I heard a couple of people say that, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, drugs are just demons. That's all they are. Pharmaceuticals, all that. Any form of drug, anything that alters your mind is a demon. Period. If it alters your mind, it's a demon. Yes, I would say weed is a little something. Nothing should make you go to like another state. And then like what's it called? DMT. I always wanted to try DMT. I will never try it now. But people see like the same thing, bro. Like they be like tripping. They be seeing aliens and gods and all kinds of weird stuff. Like, nah, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. Like them shamans, like back in the day, yeah, they used to be on that stuff, man. They was seeing stuff. They was talking to demons and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, because you ain't gonna get no back door to God. That's why I be having like an issue with the Quran when I was talking to that dude because there ain't no way that you're praying this many times a day and you're not hearing nothing. And then your response is, oh, well, sometimes we cry. Why are you crying? That's my thing is why are you crying? Like unless you're like feeling the spirit, There's no reason for you to be crying. Like, what are you crying for? It confuses me. And then, like, in the Quran, they believe in the Father, but they don't believe in Jesus. And they believe in, like, Muhammad, but in the Bible it says nobody can get to the Father unless they go through me. So no wonder why you're praying and you can't feel nothing because you're not going through the Son. See, when I pray and I feel things, I know that's the Holy Spirit. There's a clear cut difference. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I couldn't imagine praying and then not feeling anything or not getting an answer. And like I said, I don't hear God talk to me all the time, but I know He has. And then like dude got mad at me about that. He got mad when I said that. But then it's like, you're worshiping a false god, and I mean they can go back and forth, but in the Quran it also says that you're supposed to kill all the infidel, which is basically the people that don't believe in the Quran. And that's I feel like America's really trying to do that. They're really trying to invoke a a holy war, which would not be good because all the people that think they believe in God and that are just kind of more extremists or hide behind the Christian label. That's why I don't go by that. Is y'all are going to be basically was it the Crusade? The people that walked around with the flag, crosses, and was killing people. Them. That's what you're gonna try. Well, that's what it seems like they're trying to make. Is the Christians are gonna be fighting the Muslims, and I don't necessarily want to fight the Muslims. Well, I don't want to fight nobody, but I mean, it is what it is. But it's they take things different. You know what I'm saying? Like they do things different, and at the end of the day, we're supposed to try to bring everybody to Christ. Now, if they're on that though, you need to be on that because when you look back at David, David was killing everything. He was killing everything. But I mean, they all was. I mean, if you was blessed by the Lord, y'all was going to war. They was fighting the Philistines and the Canaanites. They was fighting everybody and killing them though. I mean, until they got stiff necked or was disobedient. But I mean, that's what David would do. He'd ask God, "Hey man, do I need to go? Or is I going to win this battle?" The guy be like, "Nah, don't do this one. Don't do this one. You need to repent a little bit." Yeah, no, I really don't want to go to war because I don't think it's going. I feel like it's gonna be a weird. It's gonna be a weird war. Like it'll start off like a civil war, and then it'll be like something else. Like that's when other countries will get involved, and it's wild that when I was a kid growing up, that all the older people always said, "Oh, we'll never have a war on homeland," and I was like, what do you mean we'll never have war here?" They're like, "Yeah, we'll never have war on homeland." Not negative. 9/11 proved that. I don't believe that the planes crashed, and I don't believe that. I believe that they blew that up 100%. I do. I don't believe we went to the moon because I believe in God. And it doesn't make sense. NASA and all that, none of that makes sense. Because how you record all that and transmit it back to Earth and that none of it makes sense. And then let's go to what I believe in. We got a firmament. We can't break that. And then with Elon Musk watching his spaceship go and hit the firmament. When I tell you that his spaceship was going up, it was going up, and then it started hitting the firmament and was like, it was making water come off the spaceship. And, and yeah, if he didn't get through it, and I know he has better technology than what they had back in like the 50s or whatever that was. I don't know when they attempted to go to the moon or whatever, but um, yeah, it just seems like America is built on a bunch of lies. Like, I'm convinced too, like, heavily convinced that black people were already here. I don't believe that they came from. I believe they came from Africa. I ain't gonna hold you, but I feel like they were here for a long time. That's what I think. Because if you look at the the ocean currents, to think that just white people like the Europeans had boats and they were the only ones that were sailing sounds like a bunch of BS. And then you look at all these statues in all these random places, like in South America, where they all got big black noses and like nice little headbands with stones and stuff in them. Sounds like a black man. But when you look at America, right, and you look at the East Coast and the Gulf of Mexico and all that, that's where the original Africans that landed in America would have landed. They would have landed on the East Coast. That's where all the slaves were. And then the more west you went, there was more of the Mexicans and the natives. And the native people don't want to hear this, but natives are Asians and Mexicans mixed. That's what they are. So Russia and Africa, or not Africa, but Alaska, they had an ice bridge a long time ago. And the Asian people traveled across that ice bridge. And that's why some of them, the Eskimos, that's why they look more Asian, and because of the climate. Um, but they continue to travel south and bred with the Mexicans that made natives. That's why natives have slanted eyes. They don't ever want to talk about that, but keep it a buck. That's exactly what it was. I went to Alaska and a lot of them look Asian. It is different. And there's Mexicans up there. There's Mexicans in Alaska. Yeah, Mexicans are everywhere. Uh, but yeah, no, I feel like the Europeans came over to America, and when they landed, they seen a bunch of black people, and was like, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? Check this out. You guys help us take over this tribe, and we'll give you this." And they just continued to do that, and then just enslaved all of them. How was that? You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a more possible outcome than, yeah, we came over and we took it from the natives, and then we were sending Africans on boats, and that sounds horrible. That that doesn't even sound smart or like a good investment. It doesn't. It sounds like you're losing money, like a lot of money. But if the people were already here, then you're making a killing. That's what, like, yeah, that's what it sounds like. And then like when they talk about the Moors, like the Moors were everywhere. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just be rambling, but nah, man. I think the longer you kind of kind of live life and you're not just stuck in like one mind. I think that's a big issue with people of color. They just get stuck, and then they, oh well, the white man did this, bro. You did it to yourself. Let's keep it a buck. Yeah, at this point, anybody can be whatever. That's just what it is. You want to work for it? No? Okay, that's poverty mind. Now, if you don't have that state of mind though, and you're kind of stuck there, then you got to figure out how to break that. But a lot of people can't hear that because they're stuck in the world. Um, I mean, I was never like that though. I never was like, oh, that's the white man's fault. I don't believe in that. That's weird. That's like some slave mentality stuff. Ain't no white man stop me from doing nothing. I stopped myself from doing that. If anything, it was me. That's like, oh well, the police is it, man. That's like the George. What's his name? The junkie. Uh, the Floyd guy, the black dude. Man, that stuff had me so irritated. That whole thing pissed me off because I used to live in Portland, so they was having riots down there forever. Like everything on fire and folks was tripping over a junkie. Like he was high, man. That nigga OD. He OD'd, man. And it's like y'all act like being a cop is easy. I couldn't be a cop. I couldn't do it. I'm drawing down on everybody, every traffic stop because I'm scared. I'm, bro. They have a lot of restraint, but I mean, granted, everybody shouldn't be cops. Like that's just what it is. But one, and like this is fact. As a black man, you know how to talk to police. If you don't, that is your parents' fault. Period. When you talk to the police, it's yes sir, no sir. You leave it at that. You don't. Well, I mean, like you should do that to your elders anyway. But uh, authority, yes, 100%. You weren't raised right. That's why you got that knee on your neck. It ain't nobody's fault. Like that's what's wrong with these kids and stuff now. Y'all don't be teaching your kids right because man, there's no way I could have made it this far by just acting a nut. Like that doesn't work. Yeah, not at all. I mean, you just see the decline of morals and like respect is like all the way gone. Like open the doors for women, letting them walk in front of you to get on the bus or whatever the case is. Like that stuff is dead. That is nuts. Also, I be trying to teach my son that he's young. Yeah, you gotta get out of that the selfish ways. Like the world's not gonna go off that, and then let the world collapse. Let the world collapse, and it'd be like nothing. I tell you that all that game and talking to a woman right and opening the door and all those things. That stuff is gonna matter, but I think respect is something that's just got thrown out of the window. I don't know what happened to America. I don't know what happened to it. America like used to be like the place to be, but now it just kind of seems like I don't know. It just seems like a powder keg. It just seems like it wants to blow up like whenever, and I don't know why. I'm still confused on why Biden left the border open for as long as he did. And then like Trump's looked at the bad guy for trying to like deport these people. Granted, Trump's got so much going on right now. I don't know what's going on, like at all. I mean, I'd still rather have him in office than what's her name, because yeah, we would have been messed up. Like I don't know where we would be, but it'd be not good. It'd be not this. Yeah. I feel like the next election we're gonna get somebody blue. I feel it. I feel like it's gonna be somebody blue. What they need to do is say they run in blue and just have like a whole blue campaign and just yeah, we're gonna give you all the free stuff. Because if that was me, oh man, if I was running, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you all free stuff. There's not gonna be any taxes. Food's gonna be free. Everybody's gonna get $1,000 food stamps. Oh, I'm gonna lie. And I'm gonna be like, nope, I'm red. Yes, I would. I'd do it. I'd do it to everybody. You know, I was thinking about it the other day. I was talking to my wife about it, and it's the poverty mind state is so sick. Like, I was talking to my aunt like a while ago. I used to call her my mom, like as we was I like she like raised me, but I was telling her that I was gonna get married. I was gonna marry my wife, and then she was like, "So you're just gonna lose your section? You're gonna lose your Section 8?" Because I had got Section 8 after I got sober, and I didn't really respond. I kind of just looked at her and like kind of squinted, like, "Yeah." And she, what? What are you talking about? Of course. What do you mean? So I'm gonna not get married to the woman that God sent me that has all the things, all the things. But she makes bread. My wife makes bread from scratch and butter. You better leave me alone. Like I said, she likes to go on hikes. She's beautiful. Oh man, she's beautiful. Uh, yeah, man. Like all around, it's like everything, everything. I love my wife. So that's a good woman. She be kind of stubborn sometimes. She kind of is a butt, but I deal with it. I dig it. I ain't tripping. I just tell her don't change. Keeps me young, but yes, yes, I will leave. Will get rid of my Section 8. You're not supposed to be on Section 8 like that. I was on Section 8 for 5 years. 5 years, and it served its purpose. It allowed me to get, well, God, because God gave me Section 8. Because I don't know how I got it. I just got it. I got a phone call from the dude that helped me get my apartment, and then he was like, "Hey, you got Section 8." And I was like, "Oh, nice, praise the Lord." And I mean, if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have been able to keep an apartment because I was paying child support, and then I was able to save up money to get an attorney for when I got my daughter back, which I have sole custody now, and all praise go to the Most High because that's God that did that. But yeah, I just got a letter moving out here because I had told them, I'm moving. I'm moving out of state. They were like, "What? I'm moving out of state. Stop paying my rent. I'm gone." I just got a letter in the mail like last week saying that they're gonna call for Section 8. Okay, give it to somebody that needs it. Not tripping. No cares in the world because you know, it's just gross. People live on it for 10 years, 15 years. Their whole life, and they pass it to their kids, and then it's like it's poverty. It's that's what makes their state of mind. And then it's like, what else are you looking for after that? You're not looking for nothing because you're fine and content with where you are, which is nah. I want more. And then you gotta have like people come and check where you live at every 3 years or something like that. I think mine was like every 3 years because I only see one person. And granted, I had it for 5 years. I only seen one person. But yeah, I had an AR hanging up on my wall, like above my bed, like that. I just had an AR up there because I can have guns now. Well, I think I could always have guns, but well, I don't know. I know I can now, so that's all that matters. I want a new gun so bad, but I don't have monies. Yeah, I don't know, man. Seek the Lord though. That one person that's on here, seek the Lord. Seek His face. Seek understanding. I don't know if you're a believer or not, but if you are or if you aren't, finding Jesus is the best thing that can happen. It can't hurt. Well, that's another thing. To believe in something, why not believe in Him? Because we believe in ourselves all the time. But if you believe in Jesus, you get all of the perks. All the perks. Like He promises us everything our heart's desire, as long as we seek Him and His righteousness. Seek the kingdom and all the righteousness. Everything's yours. Everything. Like, legit. Like, I wanted to get off drugs. I got off drugs. I wanted an apartment. I got a 2-bedroom apartment. That was my first apartment. Um, my friend is no longer a drinker. My mom is no longer a drinker. And my mom was a drinker pretty much like my whole life. So I didn't even have a relationship with me, or my daughter didn't have a relationship with my mom, because I wouldn't have my daughter around her because she was drunk. Now my daughter has a relationship with my mom. I have an amazing relationship with my mom. Uh, there's so many more things. I just can't even think about it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's so many things, and then that's the thing, is it's not even in the process of like knowing who God is, like understanding who He is. All you have to do is just walk, like just walk, and like then you're just like in these crazy positions that you know that you couldn't have done it by yourself. It's like I got Section 8. There's no way I got Section 8 because I've never applied for it ever in my life. And then to be able to keep that's the only way I would have been able to keep the apartment, because my rent was my child support was 500 a month. You know, I was getting beat over the head. Um, yeah, because I was only bringing in like 15, 15 to 1700 a month. That's not that's not that's nothing. Um, yeah, I got sober. I got my wife. I got sole custody. I moved out of state. Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Um, yeah, I seek the Lord and everything. Seek the Lord and His righteousness, because it can only get better. Praise the Lord, praise the Most High.